You're listening to Inside Lebo, a podcast giving you an inside look at Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, produced by Mount Lebanon's Public Information Office.
Hello and welcome to Inside Lebo. I'm your host, Assistant Municipal Manager and Municipal Planner, Ian McMeans, and sitting in today in the co-host chair is a very special guest.
Hi, I'm Laura Pace-Lilly, Mount Lebanon's Public Information Officer and Editor-in-Chief of Mount Lebanon Magazine, sitting in today for Rachel Windsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Trouvers Jewelry.
So today we'll be focusing on one of Mount Lebanon's most active and well-loved facilities, the Ice Center. There's a wide range of programs offered to residents of all ages, which is one of the great things about all of our recreation programs, that we have programs for people of all ages and all ability levels. And joining us today are two members of the recreation team, Tim Ishman, the Assistant Director of Recreation, and Tony Attanucci, Hockey Director. So thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Wow, that was pretty good.
So for people who may not be familiar or haven't visited the Ice Center in a while, can you describe the role that the Ice Center itself plays within Main Park and the Mount Lebanon community as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's best described as a community gathering place for community members and non-residents for that matter, for all ages, with a variety of interest in ice sports, with lots of different programming options, and we kind of have something for everybody.
And it's one of the few municipally owned ice rinks in the area, correct?
Yeah, specifically in the South Hills, it's the only municipal owned and operated one. Some of the other ones in the area surrounding Pittsburgh that are municipal would be like Greensburg, Katanning, Indiana, Morgantown. I think the nearest one that's community driven would be Beaver County, but we're really a unique operation here in the South Hills.
Yeah, and it's a really cool asset that we've been able to have for so long here. And to your point about being a gathering place, any given weekend you drive through the parking lot down in Main Park and you see license plates from all over the country. It's not just a local draw. We're getting people coming to Mount Lebanon for our ice rink from all over the country, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we're always busy. There's always something to do there at the rink. There's always something going on from residents, non-residents, people from all over North America, really.
Yeah. So for residents who might be interested, what are the hours of operation for the Ice Center? And then is there like a membership fee to use it? Because some facilities have membership fees. How does it work?
Our facilities at the Ice Arena really is doesn't have a membership rate. We do have resident and non-resident fees for some of our programs. The facility is open year-round, 7 days a week, with the exception of just a handful of holidays. But for the most part, when people are off, they want to recreate. So, recreation is one of those professions where you don't get that privilege, but we're happy to be open for them during pretty much 6 a.m. in the morning till at least 11 at night. And for some of our adult leagues, we're there till 1 in the morning. So it's a 17 to 19 hour a day facility.
Wow.
So tell us a little bit about the locker rooms and the changing facilities. It's more than just a sheet of ice, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We have 5 locker rooms in total. They're primarily used for competitive events like games, competitions, practices. We do have some other programs like stick time that are able to use those. We have a lady stick time that are able to use those. But yeah, they're open and available for most of our programming.
Cool. That's great. So we're going to take a short break here with a word from our sponsor, Trouvers Jewelry. And when we come back, we'll talk more about some of the specific programs, public skating opportunities, birthday parties, and other ways residents can get involved at the Ice Center.
Looking for that perfect piece of jewelry? At Trouvers Jewelry, you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. Locally owned by Mount Lebanon residents Rob and Kay Trouver, Trouvers has specialized in exquisite craftsmanship and custom jewelry design for over 30 years. Rob is an expert goldsmith, ensuring your jewelry is created with the utmost skill and care. Whether you're looking for something timeless or one of a kind, Trouvers delivers it all. Visit us at the corner of West Liberty and Piermont Avenue or check us out online at trouvers.com. At Trouvers, it's personal.
Welcome back to Inside Lebo. We're continuing our conversation with Tim Ishman and Tony Attanucci from the Mount Lebanon Recreation Department. So let's talk about programming at the ice rink. There's a lot happening. Tell us a little bit about the Learn to Skate program. That's one of your most popular programs.
It is. It's an amazing program that has been around really almost 50 years. It's a program that is grounded in U.S. figure skating. That's the sponsoring organization that we partner with. We have programs for preschoolers through adults that we offer, and there's approximately 900 different participants that take advantage of that throughout the course of a year, which is pretty interesting, which makes us really one of the largest Learn to Skate programs in the state, and significantly as well regionally and nationally. I believe we were number one in the state about a year ago, top 13 regionally, and top 30 in the country. So it is a very large program for us. We have instructors that have been with us since we opened, going on almost 50 years, which is a milestone. So we have some true tested instructors that are wonderful people to work with their kids. And Learn to Skate's a great stepping stone, because those that want to go on to a more competitive figure skating or hockey program, they can move on to one of our programs, whether it be freestyle and learn to skate and compete there from a figure skating standpoint, or move over to the PAHL or amateur hockey program, which goes to high school and on. We have a few NHLers that have come through our program. So again,
well, including the Penguins, right? It used to be the home of the Penguins back in the old days.
Yes, back in the day. But right now we Tyler Kennedy comes in and does some programs for us. He's a former Penguin, so it's nice to have that
cool
connection with that hockey world. We use our studio rink. For those who don't know our facility, we have two rinks, a main rink, which is a competitive Olympic-sized rink, and then we have a studio rink, which is unique in that it's a teaching facility pretty much for us. It's one of the things that's interesting right now. This is our winter session. Winter and spring are two of our bigger programs, and they're about 350 to 400 skaters in that 6-week window in each of those sessions. And next week starts the Olympics, and typically, like any sport, when the Olympics are on, you see the growth and activity in those particular areas. So we are anticipating our spring one session to be.
You're going to get a boom.
We're going to get a boom.
So are those sessions capped for how many people can sign up, or is it just as many as sign up you can take?
Well, we won't go more than roughly 18 deep for any particular class, but a lot of that's dictated by the number of skate helpers that we have. You have a coach, and then we have other students who are proficient in skating that will help give us a ratio that's roughly 6-to-1. So we try to make sure we give a quality lesson. It's not about quantity, and we're pretty particular making sure you master the skills before you move up. So our program has a really good reputation for what we do.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you talked a little bit about hockey, which is definitely a big draw. So can you guys talk a little bit more about some of the specialty hockey programs that are available at the Ice Center?
Sure. So much like the Learn to Skate program for your entry-level options, we have a Learn to Play hockey program that's very popular. We run it year-round. We're in the middle of the winter season right now. We're prepping to have the spring session begin in March. So that one is very popular, and that's open usually to kids ranging from 4 to 12 years old is when we like to get them started in that program. We also have a variety of, I think Tim mentioned, some different organizations and teams that play in our facility and call it home, and there are lots of opportunities for kids that already have some of that Learn to Play experience that are ready to kind of join up with the team. So we have that as an option as well. We're also gearing up for spring's a busy time for us at the rink. Believe it or not, we know we're approaching the end of what we would consider hockey season, but with that, people start to really think about the tryout season. So we offer a lot of spring clinics to keep kids on the ice and get them prepped for tryouts. And those are a variety of things. We have power skating classes. We have a squirt to mite to squirt transition class for kids that are going from cross ice or half ice hockey to full ice hockey. So we help teach them more about the rules and positioning and get them a little bit more comfortable playing on the full sheet of ice. We also have a checking clinic. So kids that are graduating from Pee Wee to Bantam and having to go through that new learning experience of what it's like to actually body check and play full contact hockey. That can be an intimidating process for some of these kids. So we try to get them in early before the tryouts, teach them a lot about the technique, get them comfortable, get them familiar with doing it the right way and doing it in a safe manner. And we find that that's a hugely popular clinic, and it's really helpful for them. And then we also offer stuff for adults too. We have an adult skills and drills class throughout the spring and the summer. Highly popular. It usually sells out pretty quickly. So we have pretty much options for everybody.
Wow. And I think was it during the pandemic when people started to be able to watch hockey games remotely without having to be there, or even for people who couldn't be there? Is that still an option?
Yes, it is. And actually, it began a little before the pandemic, but it really took off at that point in time. It's a third-party vendor that we work with called LiveBarn. They actually, you buy a subscription to be able to do that, and they have a basic and a premium, and that comes down to the number of devices you can watch it on and or download a certain amount of hours of activity that you wish to watch. But you're right, it makes it where grandparents or family members who can't be right at the rink want to watch their child or grandchild participate, whether it be a figure skating competition or whether it's a hockey game along those lines. So the pandemic really brought it on. You have the monthly or an annual type of subscription with that, and you can either watch it live or you can watch it on demand. So it gives them a lot of freedom to where they don't have to be at the rink, and kind of keeps the family tied together. It's really a unique thing. If you go to our MountLebanon.org website and to recreation, you can find all the information you need there to sign up and kind of watch it from home or on one device that you have. And then there's a discount code that'll actually save you about 10% when you sign up. So it's nice.
Especially if you have those late games.
Yes, very helpful.
Yeah. So then for members of the general public who may be interested in just kind of casually getting out there and skating, this is kind of skating season, and we have the advantage of having an indoor rink where some other rinks in the area are outdoors, and the weather's been kind of brutally cold here lately. So if members of the public want to just show up and skate casually with friends, family, whatever, what options are available there?
I think the most common option would be our public skating sessions. So we offer those throughout the week during the day. I think it's on average it's from like 9 a.m. until noon or 1:30 depending upon the day. We have a Friday night skate, which is a little bit more popular to the teenage birth years. They like to come out and hang out with their friends for that one. So that's a heavily used option. And then we also have Saturday and Sunday afternoons on the main rink. Those ones are a little bit more family oriented and a little bit more, we'll call it lower energy than the Friday night skates.
That's a good way to put it.
Which can be nice. And then the Saturday night ones, we do offer a small one on the studio rink for people that still want to come on Saturday nights. And it's a little bit different experience because of the smaller sheet.
Now, when my son was in kindergarten, we had his birthday party at the rink, and it was hysterical. It was bedlam. There were kids everywhere. They were laughing. They were having a great time. Do you still do those?
We do. We actually do those on Saturdays and Sundays, and you have two options. One is a private party, which is done on the studio rink. It's limited to about 25 kids.
Yeah, I think that's what we had.
Which is what you want to have on that one there. And they're nice because, again, you have exclusivity. You rent the ice, you pay for your skates, you kind of have your event, you get the party room, you have your cake or whatever you're going to have over there. It's a nice kind of a way of doing it. And then if you're not inclined to wanting to have that, but you want the big ice, then you could also have a party where typically they rent the party room to have their off-ice activities, but that parallels with our public sessions that we have on Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. So you have two options, the way to kind of go after that. And if you really want to even look at it and say you want to have a large party and come to one of those Saturday, Sunday events, they'll rent a room upstairs in one of our rec center, and then they'll come down and then they'll participate on the ice. They don't take their skates on and off and go up the stairs, but they'll kind of figure out what they want to do to get the ice skating in and have a party of 30 or 40 people.
Wow.
Do you guys still have broomball?
Yes. Broomball is a unique activity. We don't have a lot of it, even though we do have our regulars that come in. It's you have hockey and shuffleboard. Had a child with brooms. It'd kind of be one of those things. You're wearing sneakers and you're not wearing skates, and the ice is a little rougher because we don't typically cut it and make it as smooth as it needs to be. But it's real popular in the summer. Our day camps participants are really like to get out of the summer heat, but it's a high activity. But churches and school groups and scouts and those different ones they'll reach out to us and they'll schedule that. It's on a studio rink, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So any other final thoughts for residents who might be thinking about checking out the Ice Center or who may not be familiar with some of the programming that you all have?
I'm sure I would say, why wait? Come on down and visit us. I would say to the late, great Badger Bob Johnson, who coached the Pittsburgh Penguins in the early 90s during their first cup run. His saying was always, "It's a great day for hockey." Let's expand upon that for us and say every day is a good day to go to the rink.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you again, Tim and Tony. Tony and Tim sounds like a great restaurant. Residents can find Ice Center schedules, program details, fees, and all sorts of information at mountlebanon.org under Parks and Recreation.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll see a big uptick in people with the Olympics coming, as Tim mentioned. So, I think the last Olympics, we had someone who skated here as a youth won a medal in speed skating, right?
Yes, that was one of our figure skating instructors' child, who I think he silvered.
Mm-hmm.
Speed skating. We don't do that too much anymore, but he trained here and he came back, and he's a resident. Of our area.
The next quad god could be right around the corner.
So you never know who you might run into at the ice rink. So it's always a good thing to check out. So thanks everyone for tuning in to this episode of Inside Lebo, sponsored by Trouvers Jewelry, produced by Marcia Morgenstern, with music by Drew Monyo and graphics by Amy Robinson. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes and check out mountlebanon.org Parks and Recreation page for all the information you could need about signing up for classes and schedule times and open skate times and everything else at the Ice Center. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Inside Lebo, produced by Mount Lebanon's Public Information Office. Learn more about all things Lebo at mountlebanon.org or by following our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages.